Once upon a time, many, many years ago, in a faraway land, lived a humble and poor farmer with his wife and his daughter. They worked night and day on the land, but floods and drought made their life really difficult. So they decided to try a new life in the city. They went to stay with the farmer's sister, all crammed together in a small room. And every day the farmer went into the city center to try and find work. But there were no jobs. One rainy day, he decided to take his daughter, Megan, with him to the city center. Megan was 14 and very tall. In fact, sometimes she got teased because she was so tall. Anyway, on this rainy day, Megan decided to leave her father and go and look into the shops, look at glittering things that she knew she would never be able to afford. But it was still raining. So she took cover underneath the canopy outside a television shop. And she turned to look into the shop window, and there, on over 10 television screens, she could see something amazing. She saw a women's volleyball match live on TV. She had never seen anything like it before. She was inspired. She was stunned. Here were young women performing like acrobats, gracefully, rising supremely. She'd never seen anything like it. Some were even really tall, like she was. When the match finished, she rushed back home, her mind exploding with the images she had seen. Megan didn't even notice or care that she was soaked through. When she got to her aunt's house, she rushed in through the door. She had a new energy, a burning fire inside her. And so, there and then, Megan did something that would change her life forever. Now, what do you think Megan did next? Let's just see if we've got someone in the front row. You look like someone who has an opinion. Can we have a quick microphone here? What do you think Megan did next?
I think Megan right away went to her aunt, or I think it's her aunt's house she ended up at, and said, how do I find a place to play volleyball? And from there, maybe joined a club. Maybe got recruited by Cristobal and ended up in the Dominican.
Very good. We have someone here. Let's have one more opinion. What do you think Megan did next?
Found something and turned it into a ball and started to practice what she saw on TV.
So she went home and took some paper and made it into a ball and started practicing what she saw on TV. Very interesting. Well, to find out what happened to her, stay tuned.
Stories have been told for ages. They have been shared across the world. They are something what we are sharing with you today. There have been a phrase that resonated with me. The world belongs to the storytellers. It truly captures the importance of communications and its influence on global society. Stories can translate emotions, experiences, build the bridges, and create communities. Let us share with you some inspiring human interest stories our sport has. We have talked a lot with you during the last 2 days about how great the Olympic Games Paris 2024 been. But probably one of the most beautiful stories of Paris came from the beach volleyball court. Let's have a look. when the tensions are high and emotions raw, the DJ began to play the Anthem of Peace by John Lennon, Imagine. Stories like that make headlines, became viral on social media, and create what we call the true volleyball magic. But sometimes we don't even need the words to tell the stories. As we say, a picture can speak 1,000 words. Wow. 19 years old, Doa Egobashi from Egypt. Her first ever Olympic Games. The first ever Egyptian team playing beach volleyball at the Olympics. But more than that, she was the first ever player to compete on the court at Olympic Games wearing long pants, long sleeve, and a hijab. Stories like this in our sport show how volleyball can break barriers, showcasing inclusivity and cultural understanding. Imagine how many girls out there saw this picture and wanted to play our sport. This photo made headlines and went viral all over newspaper and social media, and even the New York Times. Well, time for another story. You have probably seen this player competing. Alice De Gradi, 28 years old, outside hitter, Italian national team, the current VNL champion. She hits the ball, she attacks, she scores the points. On the court, but off the court, there is another battle that she has to fight for the last 15 years. And this battle is the one with the type 1 diabetes. Together with the IOC promotion team, we worked on the interview for her with the world-famous lifestyle magazine, Marie Claire. 87 million people, audience internationally. Imagine how many of them could be teenagers who may have the same condition and thought they can never play our sport, or maybe parents who think that they cannot give their kids to play sport if they have the same disease. This empowering message to others facing the same situation. This is indeed the power of storytelling. As we have proved to you today, the world does belong to the storytellers. Your athletes, your players, volunteers, they all have the stories to tell. Share them with us. Together, we can share your stories with the whole world. Be inspiration and get inspired.
Amazing, Anna. And just to conclude our story about Megan, remember we had one option was that she tried to find out how to get to a club. Another option is she rolled up a big piece of paper to make a volleyball. Actually, what happens to Megan depends on you. There are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of Megans waiting for you to explore and help them find their volleyball connection. So you complete the story. You tell the stories and you complete the stories. And we're here to help in any way we can. Thank you.